What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another So Your Wife Wants You To. We like the occasional alcoholic beverage here on this channel, and as such, we don't like to just go out and buy it. Keeping with the spirit of this channel, we like to do what we can with what we have. I'm Steve-O. Let's go make some moonshine. First of all, here's what you'll need to make it. You'll need some sugar. We're doing sugar shine. It's not proper moonshine. It's just sugar shine. So sugar, molasses, which is a type of sugar. You'll need some water. That's what this is. This is also going to be our fermentation vessel. You'll need disinfectant. We're using Everclear because it kills germs. And if you get a little residue in your drink, it's okay. You'll need some yeast. Where basically alcohol is yeast pee. So need some yeast. This is turbo yeast. It says that it does a good job with molasses sugar wash. So that's why we add some molasses over there. So this yeast is specifically designed for molasses and sugar. You need airlock. This will go here. But first, we gotta put all this water into the pot, add our sugar, and dissolve it. Alright, I just poured the water in. I couldn't do it with one hand, so you just have to believe me that this water is now in that pot. I use this container because this is the exact volume that we need, so I don't have to guess by adding too much or too little into here. I use about a pound of sugar per gallon. This is almost 2 gallons, a little less than 2 gallons. So we're going to do 2 pounds of sugar. The weirder sugar you use, the more weird and interesting tastes you'll get. So this is coconut palm sugar. It's kind of like a brown sugar. It has a really distinct taste to it. So we're just going to dump it in. And dump it in. Make sure you stir it at this point. You don't want that stuff at the bottom to scorch and caramelize. We want to ferment sugar and not ferment caramel. Although, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. We're going to stir this up. Add in your molasses. This part is for dissolving. Making this nice and hot is for dissolving and also for killing any wild yeasts that might otherwise grow. Some people do an open fermentation where literally anything that's floating around in the air in your house can come in and start fermenting. In addition to the yeast, I don't do that. I like just a nice clean fermentation, and I like to know kind of what I'm getting myself into. So I kill off every other single type of yeast with Everclear and with heat to make sure that I am not introducing any wild bacteria or yeast. You can dip stuff into here because it's going to get to boiling and it's going to kill off any germs that are on the outside of this. It's going to kill them off. It's only been 3 minutes and it is smelling good already, like dark, rich molasses. We only need to bring this right up to boiling, then we can shut the heat off, because at that point all the yeasts and stuff are dead. At this point, if you're working with an open flame like a gas stove or propane, do not put Everclear next to it. It will catch on fire. But we don't have that. We have electric. So now just pour a little bit in there. Just enough to kill some germs here. You can kind of put that airlock on there and shake a little bit. What we're going to do is swish this alcohol around and just sanitize the inside of this thing. It'll also sanitize this part right here. Alright, for the next step, I recommend a funnel. I do not have a funnel, so I'm going to pour in the sink. But I recommend getting a funnel for this next step. You're going to pour the big pot into this little thing here. Don't judge me on how well I cannot do. Remember, the more you spill, the less alcohol you're going to have. What I may not have done is account for the volume of the sugar. So there's a mistake that you can keep from making, is put a little bit less in, because when you put the sugar in, it's going to be more. So like this is full, and I also still have, about that much left. So I'll figure that out later, but for now, let's keep on going. So at this point, this rim is probably something you don't want to touch much of, because you want it to be clean. It doesn't have to be, it's not sterile, but it's going to be pretty clean. So we're going to put this back here. Maybe not on the glass top. And then we're going to get that airlock, which I just wiped off with alcohol. Shove it in there. So now, when this cools down a little bit more, I'll take the airlock off, put some yeast in. Well, I can show you when it cools down in a few minutes. Alright, it has cooled down enough. We're going to go ahead and pour this yeast in. Really, this says it makes up to 6 gallons. This is 2 gallons, so I could just do a third of this. I'll probably do like a half and put the rest in the fridge. Especially since I have a little bit more to ferment in that other little part. Some guys will take this and shake it. We can probably do that too. Guys or gals, really. The more oxygen you introduce in a clean manner can help. So now we're putting that airlock in. Don't be afraid to shove it in there here. And what's good, so as the yeast start chewing on the sugar, they're going to pee out alcohol and carbon dioxide. So right now this is just a temperature differential, but this is what it'll look like as it's fermenting. It'll be a bunch of carbon dioxide coming out, and then there's water in this trap, kind of like how a bathroom trap works. So stuff can come out, but nothing can go in. Any wild yeasts that are in the air and go in, they get caught in the water and they cannot enter into here. So this is airtight and it can ferment. That is all for part 1. So here I am. So thanks for watching. We're going to do a part 2, maybe a part 3, depending if I want to do a quick one just to show you how it's fermenting and how wild it gets. And then we'll do a distillation process too, which is pretty cool. So stay tuned for the next stuff. Please feel free to subscribe. I'm always doing off the wall stuff. You can surf the channel and watch things and see how. Also, I am going to put links to everything that I used, affiliate links, in the description if you want to support the channel, buy some of this stuff, or buy me a real still. You're welcome to send one. I can give you the address. So yeah, check it out in the description section, and we will see you next time. Get back to work.